We're excited to have back on the show Jim McKelvey, co-founder of Square, which you did with fellow St. Louis and Jack Dorsey, of course, the co-founder of Twitter. I think we're going to stop introducing you that way. We're just going to, you can just be Jim and not Jim and Jack. That's coming. And part of the reason is you're also working on something called Launch Code, which we will talk more about in just a minute. But we had you on the show most recently in October. We were talking about talent then. We might ask you a lot of the same questions because I feel like things have kind of changed. Since you've been on last.
I've got better answers now.
Okay, good. Let me start right there then, because you once said that there was a real shortage of talent in St. Louis. Do you still say that?
Sure, there still is shortage, but we're addressing it. So what we've done with Launch Code is we've made arrangements with 100 of the top employers to take candidates that don't have traditional credentials. So these people are still skilled, but they don't have degrees or a certain amount of work experience, but they can still do the job. So we've placed 42 of these people already at these major companies, and to date, every one of them has kept the job. So we were expecting some of them would wash out. We might have 80 or 90%. It's been 100%, which means we're not trying hard enough. So.
And we're going to, and again, like I said, we're going to hear more about this, see more about Launch Code in just a minute, but I mean, the overwhelming response right away.
It's shocking. I mean, from the companies to the candidates, the response has been just amazing.
Okay, so let's back up just a second here. Why is talent so important? Don't we bring jobs to the city and then the talent just follows?
No. If there's a talent shortage nationwide, as there is in technology, you can't get the people to fill the job. So right now we have identified over 1,000 open positions in town. They're probably more like 5,000 or 10,000 if we actually started filling the ones that we have open right now. There are others would open up. So there's a massive demand for people with skills, and there aren't enough people with those skills. So it's a huge opportunity, both for the companies to do better and for people to acquire these skills and get great jobs.
You also said something before about we are in the midst of a renaissance here in St. Louis. What do you mean by that? Do you still believe that?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it all over the city. There are tremendous pockets of activity, and I could list them all, but I mean, I think everybody's going to do that afterward, so I won't.
Well, but okay, so does that play into the conversation we're talking about now in terms of bringing talent?
Yeah, a vigorous ecosystem needs talented people. So, period. I mean, all the stuff that we're doing here, it depends on smart, hardworking people.
And what do those, okay, if the ecosystem needs them, what do they need?
They need fun, great jobs.
And is this about making St. Louis cool, or is this a bigger mission here? Does this have implications for those who have a great job right now?
Well, you know, the cool comes with it. You know, it's not about necessarily defining the city as cool or trying to follow some trend. It's just a question of vibrant people who are making things and building new things are excited. They take responsibility for their communities. It emboldens the entire ecosystem. So that's what you want. You want that sort of synergy that you've seen in other cities. We started here in St. Louis as well.
So if I have let's say I have a good job right now for Emerson, which I don't. If you know of anything, let me know.
I can get you one. Okay. You just have to take my CS50 class. No problem.
I don't speak that code.
I can take care of that too.
But so does this have implications for those who are settled and set in their ways and they have good jobs and things seem to be going fine? Is that going to sustain itself, or do we need more fuel coming into this system?
The ecosystem always has to refresh. Okay, so if you look at the great buildings in St. Louis, most of them were built 100 years ago, or at least 50 years ago, and those people who built those great companies have gone away. And these days, compared to other cities in the country, we're not as active, and so we're becoming more active. But that requires talent.
I know you are an optimist, so I would maybe ask you: is St. Louis a good place to do business? But maybe that's not even the right question.
It's a great place to do business, but it could benefit from more talented people. And that is a statement that applies all over the world. I was in Rome last week advising the Italian government on exactly the same thing. They're having the same problem in Europe, having the same problem in Silicon Valley. It's a worldwide problem. We're just trying to address it locally better than any place else in the world.
On Twitter, we're hearing maybe that I should back up even one more step and just give us your definition of talent. What are we even talking about here for those who may not be in this conversation?
In my limited scope, it's people who can build things. So that's a very limited thing. But what I'm looking for specifically are people with the skills to create new things. So designers, engineers, programmers, artists, people who build. That's not a general definition. That's my definition.
I like it. Okay.